What's up? Episode 1 of the Pique Perspectives podcast. Right now, I got all the Pique and Sync members here. I got Kiera, social media manager, over there in the corner. I got the website designer, Mr. Sayla Green. And to my left, I got Spencer Nelson. So yeah, right now, first episode is just going to be pretty much just us talking about the point of our business, what everybody specializes in, and yeah, let's have at it. All right, Kiera. Just have a couple questions. I mean, like, what do you like about what made you want to do the social media and everything? Like, what kind of sparked your interest in wanting to do it?
In the sense of social media, I feel it's such a big part of the world right now. Whether you're an influencer yourself, or whether you're helping another business, or whether you're helping a job, whatever the case may be, I feel like it kind of just jump starts that business, makes it grow. I think everyone in the world right now is using social media.
Yeah,
So in that case,
sure.
I feel there's no one you can't reach, whether it's an older crowd with Facebook or whether it's a younger crowd with TikTok. I feel like just in that sense and learning how to do everything, editing, talking yourself, making other people talk, and just making everything look pretty like picture perfect is kind of ideal in what I like to do. Yeah.
hmm Yeah, no, and then like that goes into like you can be the best author, you can be the best at whatever you do, but if you're not capturing that, if you're not sharing that with the world, then it could just fall on deaf ears. So yeah, no, that's fire.
And I feel like that's the whole reason we started this was like there's so many businesses out there that you don't even know exist. And the only ones you do know about are the commercial ones that are successful enough to have commercials and have advertising and pay enough to see them. But like I'll find a business and I didn't even know they existed and I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Why don't millions of people know about you guys? And then you see these TikTok videos and people will have like a small business and one video goes viral and now they're sold out for months on end.
Yeah.
And like that feels like the future of marketing. It's not legacy advertising. It's not newspaper ads. It's not, I mean, you can do pay for click like web ads, but everything is internet now. And like when you, I don't, how do you start a business today without having some sort of either social media advertising? Because if you start a business today and it's just word of mouth, like I don't know how you can succeed anymore. Like people aren't going through newspapers. People aren't really caring about flyers and stuff like that. It's like the only way to advertise yourself is through the internet. It feels like.
Most businesses are on social media now too. Like that's where
Yeah.
they start. It's like before they have a website, before they have all these other things. Nowadays, it's like if I start a business, my main
Social
focus
media,
is social
yeah.
media.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's a lot of businesses that started quite some time ago that might be succeeding, but they'd exceed 100 times more if they had an Instagram, if they had a good website, if they had good pictures being just marketed out in the world so that everyone can see. So
And that's why that's why we're all here. That's why we have every single leg of the marketing of the marketing tools. We got somebody who does videographer work, which is Spencer. We got Sailor right here who does websites. We got here who does social media, and then me. My main goal is to just do client relations. You know what I mean? Just to find those people, find those tattoo artists, find those barbers, find those even restaurant owners who don't really have the time to put into it and everything. So that's why, I mean, even website. I mean, what's so why should a business have a website?
Yeah. So kind of transitioning off of social media, I think the next best thing to do is create a website for yourself, and that's kind of where you'll start to reach people who are looking up businesses on Google, or some of your search engines like Bing, MSN. People can kind of say like, hey, like I want to go get a tattoo instead of like not doing it on social media. You can look up on internet.
Mhm.
Where can I find like the best tattoos? Where can I find like tattoos that have like a kind of like an Asian or a specific kind of tattoo, like who specializes best in the area? Having a website can kind of make you reach that audience better because the way it works is like keywords will make you reach certain businesses based on what their website's like, the content that's on there, um, your blog, your the images you post. Kind of like this thing called alt text, where you can kind of put what kind of picture it is, and when somebody searches on Google, your alt text kind of matches it up. You're gonna rank higher on search engine results.
Yeah, even our friend Matt has his brother has a detailing company, and if you're anywhere and you search up auto detailing VA, they're the top one to pop up. I think they might pay for Google ad space as well, but like to have your site be the first site that pops up on a search, that is, your foot is in the door. Most people are going to click the first search. People don't scroll down. Let me go to page 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they go with what is the easiest and the most accessible. And even so, I'm doing this assignment in my marketing class, and I had to read a book for it and do a review on it. And the whole book is about starting global first, and the main tool of being global is the internet and starting a website. And they specifically say that people who use the internet, social media, within their first year have over 100% more revenue growth than people who don't. And that was the most eye-opening thing for me, because it's exactly what I was saying before. How do you start a business without social media or the internet nowadays? And it goes to show you can't really. I mean, unless you, yeah.
Awesome.
And with that, I feel like you still get, maybe there's 1% of people out there that have already had their business for 50 years that are just like, no, 100% no social media. But then you have it 50-50 where someone really does want their social media presence, and that's how you get their business. But then you have 50% of what Devin does, and it's with people that may not know how good social media could take them and how that could progress them. And that's kind of where you kind of go out and scout and try to get those people and just explain to them what having a presence online could do for your business and how it could grow.
Yeah, that's why I like this team, because like I've always been interested in each aspect of it. You know, website design. I've always wished I could be better at sales, but I don't think that's me. Even like, and then content creation. But I realize like it's so much to do as one person, that being able to have a team where that's your specialty, that's yours, and this is mine. Like it, I feel confident we have the tools to bring whatever we can to someone's business. And at this point, it's like the sky is the limit. And there's been times where like we've talked about trying to start this company before, and it's like you think, okay, can we do it? Are we going to fail? Are things going to work out? And then you realize, let's just start the damn thing.
Yeah.
And ever since we started, it feels like every week we have a whole new list of ideas and things that we've learned. And it's awesome. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, the way this started, it started off like a couple years ago whenever I started, like I said, working with Nina. She works at a tattoo shop. I was just running her social media for free, doing it for a whole year. And then like I saw like the amount of growth I was able to generate from her. And I was like, wait, why isn't it, why isn't everybody like this? Why doesn't everybody know about Nina? Why doesn't everybody know about this tattoo shop that she's at? And then now it got to the point where I was like, okay, like I said, I used to work for Wavy before. Y'all know I was there as an account executive. I was just there pretty much tasked with finding businesses to do social media work, to do commercials. And then I was like, saw the amount of like the price tag that came along with that. And it was more like, okay, wait, we can do this on a much smaller budget and a much smaller scale and still get as equal results, if not better results, than when we're doing it for like a large company and stuff like that. So like I said, like Spencer said it earlier, we were trying to do this for the past couple of years. I mean, I know I was trying to start a podcast for the past like 3 years. And then now, like I said, just waiting for the perfect opportunity, getting to meet with Studio Intrigue. They blessed us enough to be able to provide this space. So, now I'm going to take advantage of it. They're ready for us to just push play. So like I said, that's where we're at.
So Devin, tell me a little bit about, we talked about social media, website. We're going to get the photography soon, but what does sales entail for Pique and Sync, and kind of what we kind of expect from you on our team?
Yeah. So like, I mean, my main is what I'm like, the main thing I'm tasked with is going to be, I'm the passion behind everything. I'm like, I have the drive for this. I have the passion for it. My goal is to take all of y'all's passion, all of y'all's drive, and all y'all's work ethic and relay that to another business, to where we're like, hey, I have, this person, and this person on my team, and we're going to drive these results. You know what I mean? My goal is to introduce everybody on the team, introduce everybody to somebody. You know what I mean? I was talking to somebody earlier and I was like, yo, what do you do? And he was just like, I'm a consultant. And I was like, that's very vague at what you do. And he was like, yeah, I mean, everybody has a need. Everybody has something that they wish they could be doing better or something like that. And if I'm able to provide that, like if I meet with somebody, I'm trying to find your pain points. I'm trying to figure out, man, I wish I had more time to focus on social media. I wish I had a website. I wish I had somebody that was right behind me videoing everything I do. And it's like, okay, my job is to then take what they say, go to the team, like what can we do to them? So pretty much, or what can we do for them? Pretty much put together a customized plan, talk with all you guys. What's the price point we can make this happen? what are we going to actually do? What have we done in the past to kind of, our track record pretty much. So that's, in a nutshell, that's pretty much what I do. Like I said, I used to do this at Wavy. I love talking to people. Right now, I'm a real estate agent, so I do that as on the side. But at the end of the day, everything I do is just to try to help people. You know what I mean? I just want to help people. So that's my main goal: help people, find people who need help, and be able to deliver it using my tools that I have at my side.
And that's where I feel like this all started was I remember we were talking about when you were working at Wavy and the prices of the services seemed like I couldn't wrap my head around it. I was like, how the hell are they charging that much for this? Yeah, and that's the end of the thing. You're the lifeblood of it, and you're the like driving passion that synthesizes our talents into one. But what we can offer so much for so little. Like we're not, comparing to a commercial, people's multi-million-dollars for them. So people go, okay, I don't want to spend multi-million dollars for that. I don't even want to spend 50 grand for a commercial. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to do a commercial, or I'm not going to have somebody come in and take photos. But you have someone come in and they just get menu photography. Maybe you come by and you have a bar and you have a few bartenders make their favorite drinks or something like that. A presence, people are going to see that and go, I want to check that place out. And that's all it takes. It's almost like LinkedIn for your company. Like you're constantly showing this is our resume, but you're putting it in front of people rather than waiting for them to come to you. You're bringing it to them, which you can do with social media, which you can't do with any other thing. And it wouldn't be possible, I don't think, without your ability to make those connections with people, because we all have the passion behind it, but I suck when it comes to trying to like sell something to someone, or I'm like, all right, take it all, do it for free. I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which in that sense, I feel like you have to, it's just human nature to have something when it's in your face, you're going to go to it way more. So if I'm seeing something online, or if someone could post it, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to a restaurant, I'm going to a coffee shop, I'm going to a bar, I'm going on vacation to somewhere that someone's already been because I saw them post it. So if they did not post that, I would not know about that place. I would not go to that place. So I feel that's that's social media, but that's also videography and photography. And that's just also, I go to that restaurant, if I click on their website and I'm like, well, this is, I'm not going there. I can't even see their menu. I can't even, there's nothing on their website about it that makes me like pulled in. Everyone has their kind of like piece in that. If I just did my job for your business, it would be great, but still mid. And then he did his part, it would put it up another step. And then same with photography, then you would just be at that third final step. So it's just everyone kind of goes hand in hand and works together in that sense to make your business what it is and make your passion what it is.
You know how many restaurants I'm like, I want to go to this one. Let me see their menu.
And there's just nothing.
And there isn't. And you rely on Yelp photos from like 5 years ago. And I'm like,
when some moms
going to this.
Yeah. And it's like 0 stars because people only are going to put what they hate about it.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah. Or even like Google businesses. Like people have business pages, but then they either don't put their hours, they don't update it at all.
They're wrong,
and like, that detracts me from wanting to go to that place because I don't know what I'm going to get, or am I going to go and they're not going to be open? You know how many times I'll go, oh, they're open, and then I pull up and they're closed? I'm like, all right, fuck this place. I'm not coming back. Like, having a cohesive online presence and maintaining it is half the battle, I feel like.
All right. Spence, photographer, what brings you the most joy, I guess, like just being like, why do you want to be behind the camera? Why, like you were saying earlier, you're not good at sales, or you don't really want to pursue sales or whatever. Like what brings the most joy from you and your role in the company or in the role in the business?
I like cool things. So I always was into music when I was younger. And I tried making music for a while. I did some producing and made some high school rap songs, which I'm not going to go into. But like
mixtape.
Yeah, no. But I always liked creating. Like even when I was a kid, me and my friends would make little like skit videos on like my mom's camera and stuff like that. I just always liked creating stuff. But as I got older, there's a point where you have like imposter syndrome where like I'm too young to be able to do that. Or, I have the camera now, but how do I go up to this business person, and prove that I can do what they need or whatever? And then I said, all right, let me take a step back. Let me just focus on like car photography. So I've been doing that for the past year and a half. And I love cars. I love cool things, and photography captures that cool thing forever. And since I suck at music, I'm like, this is the next best thing. And there's something about photography, which is because with music, you're creating it from scratch. So you have nothing to go off of. You use scales and you have chords and melodies, but you're sitting at nothing. But with photography, you're capturing something. And the same with, videography, you're capturing a moment. And to me, I'm good at saying, okay, this is a good moment. I need to capture this, or let me get it in this way. And the way you take a photo can tell a story. And I love telling stories. I love movies. So it's almost like it's been the natural progression for me where I've always been creative. And I think this is what fits best for me is trying to tell someone's story, or capture their passion or capture a moment, and translate that to an audience. Quentin Tarantino has always been like my favorite director. Same with Scorsese. And the things they talk about, they make dull moments super intense or super impactful. Yeah. And like even a guy, he's sitting there and he's like pouring a beer in Django, and like the sound sounds so good. Yeah. The foam, everything is so satisfying. Yeah. And you're like, that scratches a part of my brain. I'm like, I want to do more
I could do that.
Yeah.
Damn, hell yeah. So right now, Kiera works for Here and Now Bridal. Shout out Here and Now Bridal. What kind of role has that played kind of into where you are now? Like,
so originally got my wedding planning license. It's kind of what I wanted to do. It's still like a dream of mine and everything. Kind of stepped into like the bridal stylist, the wedding world, and just to like get my toes wet. And now I like fell in love with it. I'm actually very, very good friends with the marketing coordinator there. So the amount of things I've learned, whether it's social media and just kind of how everything is edited and how it's created, like the amount of things she's taught me has just made my passion grow for social media so much more. Being there, helping people, making them happy, helping them on their best day, probably of their life, pretty much. Whether it's me on social media showing the dresses, or whether it's me on social media posting other people, it's just kind of helped grow my passion and also helped me learn a ton. New ways to edit, new systems, just ways to be more comfortable with doing it and everything like that. So I feel like that's really, really helped me, whether it's the people and the job kind of just meshed into one.
And you have a skill with writing captions. Like, I know I've said this before, but I don't know how you write captions that are that engaging and long enough to where, like, it tells enough that everything that somebody would ask, questions they might have, or enough about the business, but it's not boring. And I don't know how you do that. I suck at writing.
My biggest thing with that, I also suck with writing, but my biggest thing with that, very good at people watching, and it kind of plays into that. I think it's just human nature to not want to read a scripture on an Instagram caption. I'm going to scroll by it. It's human nature to not watch a 4-minute long video if I'm just scrolling. It's different when it's meant to be that long and it's a movie, it's a podcast and everything like that. But when you get into captions, I take it just like watching a video. You have to have something that grabs their eye, but you also have to have all of the correct information in there to where if they want to, whether it's getting a tattoo, they know how to book, they know when to book, and they know what kind of work you do, and that checks all the boxes with that. So with captions, I kind of, whether it's a picture or video, look at the picture, stare at the picture, maybe use ChatGPT here and there, but just kind of make sure it sounds good enough to where if I read it, I would click this video, I would book with this person, I would go to this restaurant, I would go to this place. Too short is not enough information, but too long is just boring, and they're going to scroll, and you just lost business. So that kind of
Well, I feel like that's the perfect litmus test where like we all use social media a lot. If we see the post and we scroll past, we're like, okay, that's not good.
Yeah,
and if
exactly.
we scroll, exactly.
And that's what you need. I mean, just scrolling on Instagram and whatever else social media in general. If I have a video and it's horrible quality, it might be a great restaurant, it might be a great business, but I'm not going to your business and I'm not going to your restaurant because the video is so bad. Whether it's you recorded or whether it goes back to word of mouth. So word of mouth isn't always necessarily the best way to get any point across, because you have those people that vouch for you and have those people that post such great things about you, but then you also have those people that are just, it's opposite. They had a bad experience, or they just took a very bad video and very bad caption, or no information, or don't even put the restaurant in the whole video. So in that sense, it's just whatever grabs, it's just about grabbing your audience's attention, and that's plays into everybody's corner. I mean, he has to yes, he's a salesperson, but he also genuinely cares. So he has to kind of mix him and the two and say like, hey, we really want to help you, but I also need to grab your attention enough to where you want to work with me. And photography, and I want to take a really good picture of you and make sure it's posted and shown that this is what you do. And I want people to click it based off this, but they need the caption to get the information to book there and eat there and whatever else the case is.
That was a great point that you mentioned with working with other businesses, because one thing that like my job is to show the passion of my business, but also the passion for helping people. And it's going to be hard to work with people whenever like, let's say if I go to a company, let's say I go to a business, and that like it feels like I'm caring more about that company or more about that
100%.
business than they are. And it's like, all right, dude, this isn't my company. My company does this. This is what my company stands for. It is what my company is going to do. But, it's a two-way. It's not just like you're not going to hire us and it's just going to be like, okay, here are the keys to my business. Here's this. Have at it. It's not like that. It's a partnership. And that's kind of how I like to structure everything we do. It's like, we're not working for you. We're working with you. We're pretty much like a part of the marketing team. You know what I mean? And what that entails, it's, meetings, making sure everybody's on the same page. Record, like getting stuff together to record and everything. So that was like a huge point that you brought
We
up.
sync up.
Yeah,
and
we sync
pique
up.
people's interests.
We
Yeah,
do
and I was gonna say
indeed,
that's the whole point. The peak and sync. Like I said, I had been brainstorming that for a little bit. And I was like, what? Like I wanted like a short name for it, kind of like I was saying like UFC, NFL, and then I was like peak and sync. Like that just it's super small. You know what I'm saying? It's super short. It's just like, but it's like the message behind it. It's like you're just like people just want their interest peaked. And then like once you pique their interest, you're like, huh? And then like it just all comes together. Once you unlock that little piece in everybody's brain, like once they see the vision, the vision can be completed, but it needs everybody on board to be doing everything.
Which is exactly what we are. I mean,
Mhm.
I focus so much on the passion aspect of it because, like you said, going 50-50, the point of this business isn't to help the $1 million corporations, because 9 times out of 10, the people that are helping them don't care about the business. They want to get their paycheck and they want to do the bare minimum. That's kind of not what we are. And if we're coming to your business and we're coming to you and have these ideas and everything, we want to have it back. We want to jump back off of each other's ideas and have the meetings and have the passion there, because we want to help your small business and we want to help you grow. When it's a bigger corporation like that, you kind of lose that passion, you lose that interest from both sides of the scale. So 50-50 for us is 100% a big, yeah.
Well, and
Big
that's
deal.
also like I think we're all easily passionate about things that we like. And especially working with people who are passionate about things, it's easy for us to jump on board. And like when we were working with Oasis Health, his whole brand concept and his idea of his company, everybody would want to get with that. It's wellness, physical, but also mental. What gym has a therapist in there? You're like, that is one of those competitive advantages that you're like, I want to work with this person because it's not just about money. It's about doing what you do and doing it as best as possible. But then even with that, it's like, we're like, okay, we can do branding for you. Let's get some photos. We can get your wall art up. We'll paint the damn wall if we have to. And I think like we do our own roles, but at the end of the day, we could be considered like brand consultants, because whatever we need to do, we want to do to make your business better. And I think that's the main thing.
I mean, that just comes down to why I asked y'all and why we all kind of came together. I mean, I met Spencer at college. I met Sailor at college. We're all in the same fraternity. Kira's my sister, so she kind of had no choice. But like Sailor, like I said, I met him in college. I always just, for one, looked up to like just how fly this motherfucker was. He's always looking fly, man. Always looking like he's up to something. So. Sailor, like kind of just talk about your experience, like either in college or just like what you do now, that kind of what made you want to join this and be like, this is another way of spreading my creativity and spreading my love for the game.
Yeah, well, let me see. So my experience, I would say, starts. I did get a degree in marketing at ODU, which was fun in itself. But half of college, it's like doing bullshit classes that have nothing to do with your degree. So I really didn't start taking off in marketing until I pursued an internship where I started doing social media for ODU. I did social media for another company, and then I kind of transitioned into a more generalist digital marketing role. where I kind of started learning where marketing isn't just like a one kind of type thing, like an avenue. You need to incorporate so many different things, like social media, like the website, down to copywriting, down to even sales is in essence marketing. And that's kind of where I brought it together. And then out of college, I developed my skills a little bit more. I wanted a full-time role. I wanted something where I could kind of take over a little bit. And I kind of found my niche in website SEO optimization. And right now I'm in a role called conversion optimization specialist. So I'm doing anything at my possibility where I can increase the conversion rate on our website through different landing pages optimization. So I take different aspects of the website, such as copy, even down to like a single like color of like a button. So I try and get down to the psychology of it. What piques people interest when they on the web page. The company I'm at now, we had buttons that were yellow, and it just didn't really. It's kind of ugly, like to view it. So we tested it. We A/B tested it, where we took 50% of the audience, and we showed them one page that had the button yellow, and the other page had the button red. And we tested to see which one kind of led to more sales, and the red one did. So we changed all of our buttons on our site, whether it been to add to the cart or to fill out a form, which ultimately led to just more revenue, more conversions, whether it's just email signups or purchases. So basically what I do now. I am still interested in the social media side of things. I kind of like having my hand in a little bit of everything. But yeah, it's kind of where I'm.
That's what's fascinating about the difference in button color. It makes people add to cart more or like, convert. Like, and you mentioned the website grader, and so I always knew about SEO, and I knew, you could pay for advertising and stuff like that, but I didn't know keywords and the words you use on your site change how the search results are. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so as you're saying, search engine optimization, which is SEO, and it's basically just doing different things to kind of make you rank higher on the internet. So whether it be tailoring your content to be unique, authoritative. There's Google labeled it EAT, EAT, expertise, authoritative, and forgot the third one. But basically, you want to make your content very unique. You want to make sure you're a leading person in your industry, so you know what you're talking about. It's relevant, and when people kind of search that stuff up, they also click on it. So you don't want boring content, because if they don't, it's gonna make you rank lower. And at the end of the day, it's about trying new things. It's about posting content all the time. Make sure it's good content. You're not duplicating anything. A big thing right now is AI. So people would just go in AI, type in a prompt, hey, like, I need a blog article for X, Y, and Z. They'll take it. And the same thing kids are doing in school. Like, they'll just, hey, like, I need an essay. It's due in 5 hours.
I did that today.
Right? But Google will look at that and say, all AI is basically just taking stuff that's on the internet, repurposing it, putting it out there. But if you do that, Google's going to know. Google's smart. It's going to rank you lower. That's where the human aspect comes in. And yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, humans are going to do what they do. And half the time, they don't even know why they're doing something. They don't even know why they're making a purchase. They don't know why they're buying. They don't know why they're clicking on stuff. And that's the goal of having every single aspect of the marketing. It's you're following the person through the customer journey. If they're looking up on Google, tattoos near me, if you pop up, that's cool. They see you there. And then like when they go on Instagram, what do they see? You know what I mean? So they can't escape you. If they're going on Instagram, they can't escape you. If they go on Facebook, they can't escape you. If they go on the website trying to find another person, you need to be right there at all times. You need to be following them through their customer journey. So that's a huge part of it as well. But one thing that I think that kind of gets in the way of people posting is that they try to put too much emphasis on making everything so perfect and I know that's a big deal that you go with. So if you want to talk just a little bit about the perfect can be the enemy of the good. So
yeah, and it's funny you said that. I had a paper last week that I was writing, and I talked to my professor about it, and even he said, perfection stops you from doing something. So if you're focused on perfecting something, that's okay to a point, but if it's stopping you from completing it, then it's detrimental. And for me, the biggest shift was, with videography and photography, the sky is the limit, but yet is that what works for your advertising, especially on social media? There's so many views or so many videos I'll see that have multi-million, and it's views, and it's for a promo for a company, and it's just this lady who has a pancake shop, and she just has like a pancake on her head and like weird sunglasses, and like, boom, people love it. And so you realize it's not about making the next Apple commercial. It's about having, and same with tattoos. Like, if you're a tattoo artist, what do you show besides your tats and the things that you have done for people? Like, you want to elevate that. So if somebody's looking for a tattoo artist, at least for me, I didn't I guess I went to Google to look for tattoo shops, but once I found the shop, I was using Instagram to find the artist, because I want to find an artist that I like their work, and I'm like, that's the one who's right for me. Instagram is the perfect place, and social media is the perfect place. And with that, you don't need to go in there and have some fancy commercial of a guy getting a tattoo. Just consistently post the products and the results, and you're going to get customers.
Yeah, no, it made me think about this one experiment that was done at like a school. They had like pretty much told all the students, like they told half the students, hey, take as many pictures as you can, have fun with it. They told another group of students, take one picture, and that's going to be the one picture that you end up turning in for like the assignment or whatever. And like they were so worried about making sure that one picture was like the most and the best angle and the perfect coloring, that half the people didn't even turn it in. And then the other people that were just having fun with it, they were just doing drawings, they were just doing other just pictures and stuff like that. It really just brought the creativity aspect out of it, rather than looking at it like, man, I got it, this one has to be perfect. It's like, dude, just post, you know what I mean? Just post. You don't even got to post every day, and Kira, you can talk about that. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that y'all post every single day, but like, let's say if somebody is like, man, I don't know if I should post only twice a week or 3 times a week or every day or every other day, or, how do you determine when you're going to post? How do you determine what time? How do you determine what day? Like, what's the algorithm?
With that, I think it definitely depends on different businesses, and piggybacking off of what Spencer said, you have to do what fits your business. So some businesses, unfortunately, are not meant to have the funny, crazy, exciting content, because that's just not what people are looking for. If I'm going to get a tattoo, honestly, I don't care to have a bunch of random stuff on your page, because I just want to see your tattoos, because that's all I'm going to you for. If I'm going to a restaurant and you have a bunch of, yeah, you can have random videos of your coworkers having a great time, but if you have a bunch of that, sad to say, but yeah, it's really fun to you, but I don't care, because I don't want to go to your restaurant unless I see your food, unless I see your drinks, unless I see people leaving you good reviews and everything like that. So that's kind of saying from that aspect, and just kind of doing what fits your business, finding what fits your business. With even my bridal store happens to be a little bit different than everyone else's. When you're in like a high-end bridal world, you need to post high-end content. You need to be very serious, is for a lack of a better term, serious, and just post your dresses and what you have at an expensive price. My bridal shop is very fortunate to have a very fun environment. We want you to see that through our social media, to know that it's a very laid back, fun environment. So yes, we're posting the dresses. Yes, we're posting our brides, but we're also posting funny videos with our coworkers, because we want you to know when you come in, that's what you're going to get. So based off social media, whatever you post, you need that to be what you are showing people and what you want them to expect. Posting multiple times a week, different times, everything like that, that gets into like a little bit deeper aspect and gets to like algorithms and everything like that. So just kind of what fits, and that goes to age. You can kind of see what age, you can kind of see just over statewide who sees your stuff more, when do they view it, what age views it, and everything like that. And that's how I think you kind of see. If I'm only targeting a 18 through 25-year-olds, during the day normally is going to be when I'm going to post. Whether it's before noon is probably best. If I'm doing posts for Facebook and I'm doing it to target 40 and 50-year-olds that are at work until 5 o'clock, I'm probably not going to post until 5 o'clock. Maybe I'll throw something there out in the morning, but ideally they're going to hop on their phone, because everyone does, it's human nature, when they get off work, when they have a break. So if I'm targeting college students, I'm doing it midday when they're sitting in their dorm doing nothing and want to scroll on their phone. So times definitely like that, different times a week. I think that kind of just, again plays into what business you are. You don't need to post every single day if that's just not the kind of like, unless you're very, like I said, like expert. I don't know how to else to explain it other than that. If you're a very laid back, chill business, just post whenever you want, and that's just that. And make sure you're doing it at the correct times. Make sure you're targeting the right age group. If you are like a more high end business that has to post every single day, multiple times a day, then that works for your business as well. But everyone's business is 100% different.
Even I've
100%.
So that's
seen
fascinating. I was gonna say on top of that, it's like you're using analytics from social media to
100%,
make
yeah.
data-driven decisions that are going to positively reflect your business.
Yeah.
Post at the right time based on what age they are, what's their interest,
Yeah.
where they're located, and you're going to tailor that content at that time to kind of
100%.
track them in. And then you're also creating the experience for them. So when they come in, they already seen it online.
Yeah.
Now they get to live it themselves.
It's almost like they know you.
It's almost like they know you.
Exactly.
And I wanted to note that I think a lot of things in marketing right now, people lack the data-driven insights part of, where they're kind of just doing things here and there just to kind of push things out, where it's like the next step to that is like once you push that stuff out, it's saying, okay, like what the hell worked? It's like this content worked for these people, this content worked for that people, it worked at this time, and then you do that enough times where you're gonna find that niche, you're gonna find what's working really well, and then you just go all in on that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like
Exactly.
a lot of people go off feeling, and sometimes it's right, but even I always post my photos late at night because that's when I got around to
Proud
posting.
that you want
Yeah.
exactly
But
what
then
you're targeted.
I'll find myself, if I post, like say a Friday night and I post something at like 9 or 10, it'll get shit views compared to if I post like, early on a Saturday or something like that. And I even noticed that with my own post, and I was like, do people just not care about this post and they care about that one? And you realize, oh, timing is the reason.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with marketing is it's a lot of it is feeling, or it feels like it's feeling, but then there's data to back it up, and you realize, okay, this is why it's working, and this is why it's not working. Same with the colored button. It's like, I would never think that the color of a button would change conversion rates, and then boom, now you have the data to show it really does affect that, because marketing feel like it's, from the basic point, it feels like it's emotion driven, and it's tapping into the human psyche, and it's incredibly fascinating.
Yeah, going from that, like I said, when I was at Wavy, that would be like if I met with a roofer or something like that, and he would be like, okay, what's the best time my commercial should air? You know what I mean? And obviously you have the early morning from 7 to 9 that would be way more expensive. Also, the 5 and 6 time would be because you're trying to get those people who are coming home from work or getting ready for work. They got the news on in the background, and they keep on seeing, like, that's why it'll be like, damn, why I keep on seeing that one commercial? It's like, bro, because you're the person that they're trying to get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're the target audience. You're the age 25 to 34, and you're probably going to be watching that show whenever you get off work. You know what I mean? So that's why you can have the same message, but it can get lost in translation because there's just so many things. Like you can have your message that you're trying to relay to other people, like, hey, come check me out. But if you have it at the midnight time, it's like, dude, who's watching that? Nobody's even gonna come see your business because it's like, no one's watching that. So you just gotta be, like they were all saying, you gotta be strategic with what you're doing. You know what I mean? One, and I also have just a couple questions, just like for y'all. So like, if you could tell yourself some advice, like I'd say 4 years ago, for y'all, like starting college, like the Sailor or the Spencer or Kiera, like before you graduated, like where you were then, and then where you are now, like what's some advice that you would give that person? It doesn't have to be too much foreshadow, because I know for me, I probably just tell myself, just stick with whatever you're doing, just go with it, don't question shit. Everything happens for a reason. And even if you're like, dude, why am I taking this unpaid internship? It's not working. Like, bro, just do it. Just do it. It happened for a reason. So like, I don't know if y'all had any, like, just like, damn, I wish I could, or not like I wish, because everything, but like just like some advice, man. Because I know 5-6 years ago, I was thinking I was about to just have a 9-to-5 career. You know what I mean? And if I would have gone back and told myself, like, dog, that job that you were really trying to get, like, you're not gonna be there that long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it would alleviate some stress, like just thinking I gotta have this box cutter as type of life, when it's like, dude, just do what you do, just live your life. All the experience that you happen to get, like, that's just shaping you for who you are, who you're gonna be, and what you're gonna be. So I don't know if y'all had any.
Yeah, I mean, just for me, just because I have a different kind of path than pretty much all of you and then majority of my friends. I think 4 years ago today, shoot, I would just say it's okay to not have a plan. It's okay to not have a plan. It's okay to not do what everyone else is doing. It's okay to not know what you want to do with life. Even now, yeah, I know ideas. I know what I'm good at. Still don't know 100% what I'm going to be doing in 5, 10, 15 years. So I would kind of just, yeah, I mean, say that it's okay to not have a plan. I didn't go to college and I'm 110% glad. Everyone always asks me that, but I'm 110% glad I did not go to college. Didn't want to, didn't need to for the passion that I have right now. Just in that sense, it's okay to not know what you're doing. It's okay to just go through the motions of life and just do what you're passionate about. And eventually it'll lead you to the point that I'm at right now.
For me, I would say, well, one, hindsight's a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Hindsight's a bitch.
Yeah, you tell back then.
Nigga, don't take that. No, literally. Hindsight is a bitch. I will say, gosh, man, there's so many things. I will say, like, if myself 4 years ago saw who I was now, he'd probably be like, I ain't taking advice. like plastic blunt.
Yeah.
We put it on the podcast. Oh my gosh. I think it goes back a little bit what we were saying earlier. Spencer was talking about it's just do it. Put something out. Like put something out there. I feel like I had so many ideas when I was in college and I never ran with any.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's like now looking back, I'm like, there's so much I could have done. And the way I look at it now, 24, I don't want to be like 65 looking back and being like, what didn't I do?
Yeah.
I want to look back and be like, what
100%.
did I do?
Yeah.
It's like, what did I try? It didn't. I tried it, at least it didn't work.
That's that. Yeah.
And that's that. But if it does work,
Shit.
who knows where it's going to go from there. So that's what I would tell myself.
Yeah, based off both of y'all, like mine, comparison is a thief of all joy. I feel like that would be the main thing I'd tell myself, and get rid of that self-doubt, because I always had ideas the same way you did, but I can't execute them as well. Oh, there's a million other people that can do my idea, but they've already done it and they've already done it better. Or I have this idea I could do, but it's going to take too much work. How do I have the money to get it up? But then, like my sister, she started a cafe and it did very well. And then they bought a coffee shop, sold the cafe. Now they're starting, they bought a space within the mall and they're doing like this kind of playland thing.
Tough.
And she was piss broke for my whole life. All I knew was that she has no money. And then now she's got fucking everything. Like she has kick-ass thing and she works her ass off, but she likes what she's doing and it's fulfilling to her. And I think my biggest struggle was 9 to 5 is a safety blanket. It's okay. If I have to pay a mortgage, I have the mortgage, I have something like consistent income that's coming in. But then you think, am I going to be happy at the end of it? If I work at a 9 to 5 for my whole life, and you can be passionate about what you do, but if you're not, is that what you want to do for your whole life? You spend half your day at work. If you're sleeping for 8 hours a day, and you go 8 hours of work, that's half
16 hours.
Yeah. So,
for half.
and then you have to commute somewhere. It could be an hour and a half commute. It's like you end up spending so much of your life focusing on a job, which if you're not passionate about it, why keep doing it? And I think you get caught up in the money side. And money feels like it equals freedom. But then everybody I know who makes a lot of money doesn't really get to enjoy that money. Or most of the time, if you're working 9 to 5, because, now you're making $100K, but we need you in the office from 8 to 5. I need you on Teams until 9 p.m. every day, and you got to be on Teams at 6 in the morning. And then you can work overtime and there's no expectation to pay you more. And usually you don't get that buy-in where there's incentive for you to work harder because and then you can get screwed over. And then there's layoffs and stuff like that. It's like, I always compared other people and thought they could do it better. I can't do it as well. And then I realized, just put your head down and just start working. And then pick your head up every once in a while, look around, and then go back in. If I realized that 4 years ago, I think I would be in a way better spot.
Kind of what you were talking about, Spencer. It's like, worst case scenario, and that's kind of how I started looking at my situation, was like, my worst case scenario is I just have to go get a job and work. You know what I mean? Everywhere is hiring in this whole world. And if I wanted if I wanted a job, I'll just go apply for the job and like try to get the job. But like my best case scenario, if I just keep doing what I'm doing with Peak and Synced, with real estate, with just trying to help people, then I'll go a lot further than my worst case scenario. You know what I mean? But my worst case scenario is a lot of people's best case scenarios where it's like, dude, I just want a job. You know what I mean? But realistically, a job is just to pay the bills. You know what I mean? And with how fast time moves, like I said, I just had to put into perspective. Like I was talking to my mom the other day. I was like, Mom, like, what were you doing at 25? Like comparatively to me, she was like, Devin, you remember when I was 25? You were 7 years old, and I was just like, oh shit. Like, damn, that wasn't that, like, in my brain, it's like, it wasn't that long ago, but it was, about 20 years ago, 18 years ago or something like that. And it's just like how fast time really moves. I don't want to spend it at a place where I don't want to be. I don't want to spend it at where I'm not making a real life impact, because you got people who are in charge of these companies nowhere to be found. They're on an island, they're on a yacht, they're on, no Epstein shit, but like they're on an island, they're on like a yacht, they're just somewhere. Yeah, they're in Turks and Caicos just kicking back, just chilling, you know what I mean? So that's, like I said, this is my best case scenario.
Well, and that's another thing. People assume, like, and it goes back to the 9 to 5 safety blanket. It's, okay, I have this idea, but it's not going to work out, or it's going to take too long. What I realize is, so I just realized I've been working at ODU for 3 years now, and I've had full time for about 6 months, and it felt like I got it yesterday. And when I think of 2014, I still feel like that's 2 years ago, and I'm like, that's over a decade ago.
Yeah.
But
COVID was 5 years ago.
Yeah,
bruh.
yeah.
Like, that shit
Same.
is crazy,
but
bro.
I'll tell myself, if I started this 3 years ago, imagine where I would be at now. And it's a balance, because things take time, but if you're diligent with it, it's going to pay off. And I think people assume if I'm starting this business, I need to be able to make it my main income source right away or within 6 months, or else why am I doing it? But then your 9 to 5 didn't happen overnight. That for me, it took years of grinding before I was able to get the full-time position. So rather than expecting everything needs to work out tomorrow, or I got to do that, you're going to be working that 9 to 5 for 20 years. So if you dedicated that 20 years to doing what you're passionate about, there's no way you wouldn't succeed unless you're wildly unaware.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, bro, I'm only 25, bro. I can't imagine working another 40 years, bro. That shit's scary to hell.
Yeah, I'm already thinking about an exit strategy. I'm like, oh my God, I don't.
I mean, I have just like a couple more questions.
I do as well. I'm going to cut you off for
yeah,
just
yeah.
a
Go
sec.
ahead.
I feel like everyone, human nature to have one like bad trait or something that kind of weighs you down. I know, Devin, you are very, very passionate about helping other people and everything, but that's sometimes always your downfall in the sense of you don't put enough time into yourself. So just each and every one, if there's anything that you can kind of, maybe someone else who has that kind of downfall trait or anything. I know mine is kind of definitely just looking at other people's where they are and kind of comparing myself. And I know I'm a lot better than I was 5 years ago, per se. But just kind of looking at, dang, like I should be there. Like, why am I not doing what they're doing and everything like that? And just to that, and what's kind of helped me like overcome that a little bit is just everyone moves at their own pace. Everyone who's a singer and has millions of albums out had to start somewhere. When they started, there was someone better than them. Before they were born, someone was better than them, and someone's worse than them. And that's just kind of the case in that sense. So I'm like, if I just like start from where I am and kind of grow from there, eventually I'll get to the point where I am, and I won't even, when I turn around, I won't even see the people that I thought were better than me and listen to that. So, I mean, with you is kind of what I was talking about, and just how do you kind of balance and kind of pull yourself back from, okay, let me kind of focus on what I'm doing, my real estate and my job, and opposed to trying to help everyone else and just balancing that.
I mean, for me, like you were saying, like it's helping other people. Like, in my favorite quote is like, "There's two ways of spreading light in this world. It's to be the candle or the mirror that reflects that light." You know what I mean? And I feel like I fall a lot with holding up the mirror for people and like pretty much like, hey, you know that you can do this, 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 and this. Hey, you know this, and then they're like looking like, they can just be operating, and then they start looking at that mirror and realizing like, hold up, I'm a whole ass flame. I can really do this shit. But like that's my problem. I got sometimes instead of holding up the mirror for other people, sometimes I gotta hold that mirror up for myself, look at that shit and be like, yo, you're the one doing this shit. You're the one that is you're the one lighting this room up. You know what I mean? So that's my thing. Sailor Spencer, I don't know.
Yeah, that's similar to I was always the guy who would like boost up his friend. You can do this, let's do that. And then when it came to me, I'd be like, shit.
I can't do that.
And I think mine is it's getting stuck in the moment and thinking that this is forever. Like change feels possible, but at times it doesn't. You don't realize you have free will. You can go out and do whatever you want. I forget that I have free will all the time, and I'm like, this is my life. I'm just following the tracks of, I'm on this train and I just got to go this way. And then you realize, oh, I can deviate. I can go this way. I can just do what makes me happy. And it's taken me a while and I still haven't fully got there. But the idea of just, without being selfish, doing what you want to do and not fitting other people's expectations or these expectations or requirements that other people want you to do, and being like, let me just do what makes me happy and not what I think will make me happy, is my biggest negative trait. Is I'm always doing what I think I should do and not what I truly know I should be doing. And then I get stuck where I'm like, when I finally do that thing, I'm like, damn, I wish I did that a long time ago.
No, for sure. Layla?
So the question is, what's your bad habit, I guess?
Maybe like
straight for the bad trait.
If there's someone that holds you back, what would be?
Is there anything that would, like, procrastinating or anything?
It's a great question. I feel like I've been thinking a lot about, I call it my onion, because there's multiple layers that I feel like I've kind of, throughout the years, I've built up bad habits where I feel like now I'm kind of peeling them back, taking them out. And I think one of the biggest things is reflection and meditation. Being able to kind of be honest with yourself and say, this is what I'm doing wrong. This is the effects it's having. This is what I need to do to be better. And then the next few days, like, meditate on that. And then it's like, did I do those things or did I not? What prompted me to do those bad things? How can I remove that? It's kind of the same thing with marketing. It's like, I tried things out. Yeah. What works? What don't? Mm-hmm. Why didn't it work? What worked about it? How can we improve it? So my bad habit, oh gosh.
That's pretty much
so many.
Just kind of something that, and yours is kind of opposite to where you already had one and now you're on the better end and over the other side of the bridge on it and getting rid of those.
It's funny you mentioned meditating because you have the disposition of somebody who meditates. Like your calmness, I've always been envious of, and it makes sense that you meditate.
Well, it's funny you say that because if you'd asked me or said that to me maybe like a year ago, I may look that way, but inside it was just constant noise.
Yeah.
So now it's like I started meditating and it's kind of bringing the inside a little bit at peace, and also making the changes necessary to be that person.
Yeah, and blocking out that noise so you can take a minute to focus and think, or ignore it for a moment. I mean, I get into a habit where I do the things I think I should be doing, and then when I'm not able to cope or deal with whatever stressors I have going on, then I do things I shouldn't do because I'm not doing the basic easy steps, or I'm looking too far forward. Oh, the reason I'm unhappy is because of this. It's because of that. When really it's like, dude, have you drinking water in 2 days? Yeah. Have you gone to bed for more than 6 hours? No. Okay, well, let me just focus on that.
No, 100%. I mean, right now we're getting kind of close to the end of the podcast. I just have one more. There's this rapid fire question. Just kind of off serious. What's a place that y'all want to go on vacation in the next year or so? Like something in your brain where it's like, I want to go here. Like, or it doesn't even have to be in the next year where it's like, dude, this is my perfect place to go. You know what I mean? This is where I want to go.
And this one's a perfect place. Not necessarily. I'm a very sporadic person. I might want to go somewhere today and then it's different tomorrow. But some place I always want to go is definitely Italy. That's like my place I want to go to where it's not like the tropical vacation, but more just so there's so much there to see and do. I definitely want to go there. And my tropical place, I'd definitely say Hawaii. I'll definitely be there within the next year. That's very doable. My Italy trip, that's a little down the line. I want that to be kind of like a 10-day, 14-day trip. So that'll be down the line. But yeah, for sure, those are my two.
Hey.
I've been wanting to take a European trip.
Yeah.
Italy is definitely on the list.
All over there, yeah.
Italy is just so there's 3 countries I want to go to. It's Italy, Spain, and France. But I want to do a month, which it's expensive.
Yeah.
So how the hell we gonna get over there?
But you could do it in Europe though.
Yeah, we could. We could.
Once you
So,
get over there.
but it's just experiencing a different culture, immersing yourself in a different culture, the language, the food. Oh my god, the food.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
the drinks,
yeah,
the
different.
locations, the architecture.
The
It's
people,
all.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's completely different from what we have over here. So it's definitely would want to do it someday.
Yeah. I'd say mine would be I love tropical. I'd say Greece is probably like my number one place.
Damn, that's a fucking awesome answer.
Just like Greece, just like the history
Yeah.
that it has, like just like you're saying, the architecture, the mountains, the
Yeah.
people, the diet, the like everything about Greece kind of just fascinates me. So that would be like if somebody were to like, yo, Jeannie, come down, like, yo, Devin, where are you trying to go right now? I'm going to Greece. That's where I'm
Yeah.
going.
God, mine sounds basic as shit now. I just want to go to New Orleans. That's all I have. It looks fun. I like the
It's
beach.
tropical.
Yeah, yeah.
Might see a crab.
That or Vegas. That'd be cool too. I'm already
That's fun.
Solid.
And then last thing is, man, just like, what are you looking forward to at the end of this year? Like at the end of this year, what are your goals for this year? What are your goals for the business and Peak and Sync? What are your goals for yourself? And kind of like, what are, and then I'll go into that part after, but it's like, what are we looking for? Who are we looking for? Who are we trying to help? You know what I mean? So,
I'd say for me, it's continuing to say yes and kind of do what before I talk about put your head down and then take a moment to come up. I've finally been able to keep my head down, and the amount of success and progress that I've had within the few months of just staying consistent to what I'm doing, I can't wait to see the results that I have a year from now. And also knowing that we're still in what it feels like the groundwork stages. We're working out what clients work for us too, because we don't, anybody who's willing to throw money at us, it might not be a good partnership. So getting to the point to where we feel confident that not only in our capabilities, but that how to navigate the market in itself. And a year from now, we'll have the confidence of everything that we have been working on. And I think just keep my head down. That's my goal.
my goal right now for this year is to just completely just keep rocking it, keep killing it with real estate. Um, just keep filling up my schedule, man. Like just keep doing my calendar. And before I know it, I'm just like I said, I'm trying to get back to the point where whenever I was in school, my senior year, where I had internship Monday, Wednesday, Friday, classes Tuesday, Thursday. I had a leadership role in the fraternity. So it was like every single day is a new adventure. Every single day you're tasked with something new. So this year I'm just trying to keep up my good habits, just trying to take off real estate, take off with this podcast, take off with the Peak and Sync business, and really just live my life through my businesses and through my ventures. That's pretty much my goal.
I would say mine would be just keep building. My personal goal, at least, is just keep building my foundation, develop my conscience, being able to self reflect, build upon what I'm doing, and then translating that into Peak and Seek, build that foundation, continue to grow with you guys, get closer, develop our niche and what we're doing, and yeah, take off from there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd say my business and my personal are very similar. Business for here, definitely grow everyone's social media, whether I have to help individually with each of theirs and then just us as a business. Preach what you or practice what you preach. I can't go out here to all these businesses and expect them to let me do their social media if all of ours isn't up to par. So definitely by the end of the year, I want everyone's to be pretty top tier because I'm kind of a perfectionist in that sense. And then personal, hand in hand, I actually want to be a lot more involved on social media, showing my day-to-day life. I'm a lot more in the gym now. Absolutely love the gym. Would love to post more about that. Just kind of keeping busy and just posting in that sense. So for me and for everyone, pretty much just social media presence.
I know I need to work on mine.
I know.
We will.
Well, yeah, I mean that's been the first episode of Peak Perspectives. Like I said, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I hope we were able to
Thank you,
kind of
man.
relate, whatever's in our brain. If y'all just want to do a quick like little punch tag of where people can find y'all, if they're looking for a bridal store, or looking for some website work, or looking for anything, you know what I mean? So, I mean, you can find me at Devin Lundy Homes. That's my real estate business account. You can find our Instagram and Facebook at Pique and Sync. And then this podcast will be airing on our YouTube channel, Pique Perspectives. And yeah, Devin Lundy Homes, come get you a house.
Reach out to Spence's Lenses, Spence's.lenses for photography or videography or whatever you need. I can make it happen.
Find me at Saylor, SAYLUR on Instagram. Bang, bang. For any website, SEO, or if you just want to chat about some things,
Yes, sir.
let's get it going.
Same for me, just my name, Kiera Lundy, and I'm also all over the Here and Now Bridal Instagram. If you want to come find your address, I'm there as well.
Yes, sir. Hey, it's been a pleasure.
Been a pleasure.
Peace.
Yo.
Deuces.